Hello, and thank you for logging on to today's vlog, where I'm going to discuss initiative and referendums that's at the heart of Arizona's democracy. The information from today's vlog was collected from a book entitled Initiative and Referendum Guide, published by the Office of Secretary of State. I would like to start off by stating that initiative and referendum are both forms of direct democracy that allow citizens to participate in the decision-making process of government. While there are some similarities, they differ in terms of who initiates the process and specific purpose they serve. Let's define these two words. An initiative is a method through which individuals can actively propose new legislation or modify to current laws. It allows individuals to bypass traditional lawmaking methods and submit a particular proposal for consideration and possible application. To demonstrate public support, a specific number of signatures from registered voters in favor of the proposed initiative are often collected. If enough signatures are collected, the initiative is normally placed on the ballot for eligible voters to vote on during an election. In contrast, a referendum is a direct vote by the general public on a specific subject or a public concern. It enables individuals to voice their views and vote on whether a certain policy, law, or government action should be enacted or abolished. Referendums can be launched by the government or initiated by citizens through a petition. The referendum topic is put to the people and then voted on and determined the outcome by the people. Depending on the legislative framework and the unique conditions of the referendum, the results of the referendum are either binding or adversary. Now that we know what they are, let's discuss the steps that are taken to create each. Initiatives go through 4 steps. The first one is the proposal development. It begins when a group drafts or propose a law or amendment that outlines the desired changes. Second is the signature collection. Supporters of this initiative must gather a certain number of signatures from registered voters. The number of signatures typically is determined by the law. Third is verification and certification. Once the signatures are collected, they undergo and verification and certification process by the election officials. This process involves checking the realness of the signatures. If the required number of valid signatures is confirmed, the initiative process goes to the next step, which is the 4th step, the ballot placement. After the signatures are verified, the initiative is placed on the ballot for a specific election. The election can be a general election or a special election. Voters then have the opportunity to cast their votes in favor or against the proposed initiative. The outcome of the vote determines whether the initiative is adopted or rejected. Referendums go through 3 steps. First, government started. Referendums can be initiated by the government to seek public input or approval on a specific issue. Second, citizen petition. Referendums can also be generated through a petition by citizens, meaning collecting signatures. Third, ballot placement. Once the required signatures are collected and verified, the referendum in question is placed on the ballot for a specific election. Similar to an initiative, the election can be an general election or a special election. Voters cast their votes to determine the outcome of the referendum. The results of the votes determine whether the proposed decision is implemented or rejected. Now that we have discussed what they are and how they are created, let's talk about some pros and cons of these two procedures. With initiatives, some pros are that it is citizen empowering. Initiatives allow citizens to process legislation by bypassing the traditional lawmaking process. This gives individuals the opportunity to directly influence policymaking and have their voice heard. Another pro is the issue visibility. Initiatives often bring attention to important issues that may not receive adequate attention through traditional channels. And another pro is accountability. Initiatives can act as a check on elected officials by holding them accountable. Citizens can use initiatives to address policy gaps or force attention on matters that politicians may overlook or ignore. So what may be some cons of initiatives? Let's take a look. The complexity. Drafting a well-written and comprehensive initiative can be challenging. Citizens may not have the necessary legal expertise or researchers to create an effective piece of law. This could result in poorly crafted initiatives that may have unintended consequences. A second con will be limited participation. Initiatives tend to require a significant amount of support in terms of signatures or other criteria to qualify for the ballot. And another con to initiatives could be the polarization. Initiatives often involve critical issues and could worsen social division. The simplified yes or no matter on the ballot can oversimplify complex issues. So just like initiative, referendums have pros and cons. So first, we'll look at some pros for referendums. The first pro will be direct democracy. Referendums allow citizens to directly participate in decision-making on specific issues. It provides an opportunity for public to assist and express their opinions on and make influence on policy outcomes. Another pro would be legitimacy. Referendums can enhance the legitimacy of important decisions by giving citizens the final say. It ensures that major policy changes have the backing of the people, making them more acceptable to the public. Engaging the public is also another pro. Referendums often generate significant public debate and engagement. They can encourage politicians and political education on mobilizing voters who may not have been active in traditional elections. After looking at the pros of referendums, let's explore some cons. Simplification on complex issues. Referendums typically require a yes/no vote, which can oversimplify complex matters. Important policy decisions may be reduced to simplification choices that fail to consider the details of the issue. Manipulation and bias is also another con. The wording on the referendum questions can be biased or misleading, potentially influencing the outcome. Interest groups may exploit this and manipulate the public opinion. Another con that may be one for referendums is limited knowledge. Referendums often involve technical or complex policy matters that the general public may not have sufficient know-how of to fully understand. This could lead to uninformed and misguided decisions. It is important to note that the pros and cons of initiatives and referendums can vary based on the specific context, legal framework, and implication of these two. Lastly, let's explore how the Arizona Constitution embraces the principles of empowering citizens to participate directly in decision-making process through initiatives and referendums. I have 6 takeaways that show support to the idea of direct democracy as outlined in the Arizona Constitution. The first takeaway is Article 4, Section 1. This is initiative power. The Arizona Constitution grants the power of initiative to people. It states that the people have the authority to propose laws and amend the Constitution. These provisions allow citizens to directly participate in the lawmaking process by introducing their own proposals, bypassing usual channels of legislation. The second takeaway is also Article 4, Section 1 for referendum power. It also grants the power to referendums to the people of Arizona. It provides for the ability to refer legal matters and measures to the people for approval or rejection. This enables citizens to directly vote on specific laws or decisions made by legislatures or government. The third takeaway is initiatives and referendums promote active citizen participation in government. They provide an avenue for citizens to express their opinion, voice their concern, and propose changes to laws and policies. Throughout the collection of signatures and casting of votes, individuals have direct impact on shaping legislation and public decisions. The fourth takeaway for initiatives and referendums also, it serves as a check and balance on legislative and executive branches of the government. They provide a mechanism for citizens to challenge or influence the action taken by elected officials. By allowing citizens to directly propose laws and vote on specific issues, initiatives and referendums ensure that the voice of the people is heard and taken into account in the decision-making process. The fifth takeaway is direct democracy through initiatives and referendums, where it can help safeguard the rights of minority groups. It allows minority groups' viewpoints to be heard and considered. This inclusion helps prevent the potential marginalized of a group of people interests. And the sixth takeaway is initiatives and referendums foster transparency and accountability in the democracy process. Citizens have the opportunity to express their consent or dissent on important matters, providing a direct measure of public opinion. This helps ensure that decisions reflection of the people is held by elected representatives. Overall, initiatives and referendums in Arizona promote the concept of direct democracy by allowing individuals to actively participate in lawmaking, encouraging citizen participation, establishing a check and balance on government acts, preserving minority rights, and improving democracy accountability. These tools align with the objective of the Arizona Constitution, demonstrating a commitment to include the public in the development of the state's law and policies. Again, thank you for logging on to view this vlog where we discuss initiatives and referendums. If you are interested in more information from today's vlog, you can look at this information and more in a book that is called Initiatives and Referendums Guide. It is published by the Office of the Secretary of State. Thank you.